Thanks for coming out, everybody, today. We like giving you a lot of different aspects of what's possible, so I like being part of this group because everybody can learn what's good for one person may be different for another person, so I love how we're open for everybody. I might have been one of the first one to put in batteries because I have saltwater tanks, and when I put in my solar system, where was the clicker? I put in solar and found out really quick that when the grid goes down, oh, there we go. When I installed solar, it was great that we're getting free energy from the sun, which everybody hopefully wants to do. But I learned out really fast that interconnected systems, when the grid goes down, the solar must go down also. Well, I didn't like that. We have saltwater tanks, we have pretty large ones, and when we lose our electricity, we flood. And so we got a big mess in our den, and I said, that's never gonna happen again. So I started looking for alternatives. So these are my topics. Let's see. When the grid goes down, why do you need extra backup power? Well, I found out quick I need extra power. So I went to the solar convention. Every year we have a solar convention. I went to the one in LA. I think we have one in 2 weeks. Muhammad's here. He's trying to go. Next week? Okay. So every year to have one. If you're curious like I am, I highly recommend going to it. You can find out who the vendors are, what the products are. And if you're interested like I am, you can get a lot of answers. So yeah, so these are my topics. Let's see. We lost all our power. This is the reason I wanted to get backup battery power, because I never want to be without power. Even though we have solar panels, I wanted to be able to use the solar panels when the grid is down. As the other two gentlemen mentioned, the only legal way to use your solar panels when you're grid connected is to have an AC coupled battery backup system. They've already discussed it, so I won't spend much time on it. It's basically just a big transfer switch, and it transfers so fast, and the hertz and the the voltage and the hertz of the cycle is still perfect. So your grid and your solar panels think the grid is still there, so they will continue to produce. I love that because then you can still get power from your solar panels, and they don't have to disconnect from the grid. Let's see. All right, batteries. When I was first starting this, I was saying, well, they have generators. They have natural gas generators. They have you can tie in your natural gas line. You can use petroleum. You can use diesel. The problem with this is you cannot use these with solar panels because you're going to have the voltage spikes and your hertz is going to fluctuate. We've all heard generators that will go up and down and they fluctuate. Well, the law says that the solar panels have to stay off for 5 minutes if there's any disruption in the grid. So you can't use generators. It's impossible. This is why I had to go with batteries, which we all talked about, and that's what the only way to have a grid-connected AC coupled battery backup is with batteries, because it'll give you a perfect 60 hertz and perfect voltage. That's why the solar panels think the grid is still active. Let's see, which transfer. Sine wave. There's also products out there that will use modified sine wave. These will not work if you try to get any kind of inverter or generator. If you don't have a perfect 60 hertz cycle, your solar panels are going to shut off. They just have to. That's what they're made to do. So that's why you have to have a perfect sine wave if you're going to use any kind of a backup system. When I shot back in 2011, these were the only guys on the floor, which was Outback, Magnum, Fronius, and Schneider. Being curious, I went and looked at everybody and I talked with them, and now there's many more. Like when I shot 5 years ago, this was all that was available. And I'm just learning. I'm not an expert, I just learn and try to do stuff alone. Now there's obviously great offerings from Tesla, Enphase, and some others. And I'm a Tesla owner, and I'll probably want to get the Powerwall, but it's got to work with my system. So we've got to find a way to make it happen. Let's see. If I could get it cheaply done, then of course I would do it with no issue. Otherwise, I either have to find something that will work with my current system, or I got to sell my old system and get something that will work with Powerwall. So these are personal problems everybody's going to have to go through. Let's see, what are the costs? Well, being a do-it-yourselfer, I like to research stuff. There's a place called Wholesale Solar that will sell you everything cheaply. If Muhammad's here, I think he'll sell it to you cheaper. He's in our group, and he's very hungry, and he's awesome. So if you want to buy something, I would highly recommend going to Good Faith Energy. But the Outback is they sell 4,000 watt systems, and it's about $6,300. Magnum has a higher wattage one, which is what I use, and it's considerably less money. Plus, they're expandable. So if you only need 4,400 watts, you get one inverter. You can go up to 4 in a row. You can, whatever your needs are, and there's plenty of professionals here that will help you decide what your needs are. You can buy just what you need. Batteries, there's a bunch of batteries out there. You can get AGM, you can get sealed lead, you can get lead. I mean, there's a number of batteries you can get. Me being a home do-it-yourselfer, I just looked for the cheapest way, so I bought used golf cart batteries. And they're pretty cheap, but they still provide what you need. Let's see. Here you can see, if you don't, Outback is a good one. This is one of the inverters. I think it's actually in the the other guy's system. That's what they use. But it's about $6,300 to use that system. And Outback's a good company, but it's only 4,000 watts. Whereas the Magnum has a single inverter for about $4,200, and that was my first system before I upgraded. Then I went to 2 inverters, which is about $6,800, and they're all expandable, so you can just keep adding more and more. You can use any batteries you want, but they got to be at 48 volts. So it doesn't matter what battery you use. You can parallel them, but you have to be at 48 volts, just like the other battery was 48 volts. Let's see, 3 battery. If you go to 3, it's going to look like that. And what I saw at the convention is 4 of them. This is what I saw in California, and I think they can even go more now, but you can just keep adding them based on whatever your needs are and how much power you want to provide. So that's what I saw there in LA. Let's see. At the time, I didn't have that many choices. Now there's a lot more choices, but I just picked Magnum because A, it's cheap, it's expandable, and they're really they're solar friendly. I mean, they're at the solar convention, so they were just very helpful. So that's why I chose Magnum. I started with 12-volt batteries that I got at Sam's. Only $100. If you go to Sam's, you can buy new deep cycle marine batteries for $100. But they got to be 48 volts, so you got to get at least 4 of them in series to get to 48 volts. Well, that's a cheap old way using lead acid. You still have the hazards with lead acid. Everybody wants lithium. Had to start somewhere. Where the Trojans are way better, and that's what you use in golf carts. It's better, lasts longer. You can buy used ones. Well, they're $75 today, but they used to be $50 a piece. Let's see. So what do they look like? This was my first install. The solar came in to here, which I had a meter, and I pulled my critical loads out of my main panel here. So here's all your critical loads that will be fed. The solar comes into here, and the batteries go down here outside. So this was my first install of one inverter. You can buy these cheap cases at Sam's or Costco. They're $100. The batteries are supposed to be sealed. They have to be air and locked if you want to pass code. So I just put them outside, and you got to use metal conduit for DC wires going into the house. So $100, load them up with batteries, pass code, and I just got the Energizer brands from Sam's. That's how I started. But you can see I had a number of banks because I wanted to go 3 days with no sun and still provide all the energy in my house. So it was cost effective, but you can add as many as you want. So then I went to 2 inverter system, and I took the other system to my office. And also switched to the Trojan batteries. Now you got to have 8 in a group to get to 48 volts. So there's one bank and there's another bank. And then I like buying these golf cart batteries by the skid. So this is my office system, and you can literally see it by the skid. So I have 3 banks of batteries for my office system. The one line, everybody's got one line diagrams. This is Magnum. It's, if you're not a tech guy, it doesn't mean anything to you, but this is how it all works. The difference with mine is I don't have one inverter for my solar. I have micro in-phase inverters, so every panel has its own inverter. So mine is this system less this, because all my solar just goes straight into the panel. It doesn't have one main inverter. I was asked to talk about in-phase because I'm already an in-phase customer. Everybody's got new stuff coming out, which is great. It helps everybody. It's just like when Tesla's sharing their EV patents, trying to get everybody to get electric cars. It's good for all of us. So I don't know much about them yet, only what they've been showing us when I send them email. There's no installs that I'm aware of, but I'm very interested in it. because it's an AC coupled battery, not a DC coupled battery. So it'll work with any system, and it goes straight into your panel. And if I can I show the first video here?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know, I'm not an Apple guy.
I've got it, Graham, thank you. Oh, so, here, I'm sorry, I'll do it. Yeah.
But I may switch again, I upgrade all the time, so I may end up selling what I have. I'm kind of leaning towards Tesla because I'm a Tesla guy, but I'm also an in-phase guy.
I'm sorry.
Storage ready means that you've installed everything that you need to take advantage of a storage solution at some point in the future. For example, this home is storage ready because not only do they have solar, but they've put in place all of the monitoring and metering capabilities they would need to be able to add storage should they choose to. What you really need is to have that intelligence in place that measures how much you're generating and how much you're using, because ultimately that's going to help the system decide what should I do with energy now, should I store it or should I use it in the home? That intelligence in the Enphase system is the Envoy S meter with the production CT and the consumption CTs installed, so you're getting that full picture, that total insight on what's going on with energy.
The key component for Enphase's storage system is it's just that. It's a system. It's not just a battery, but it's an integrated storage unit which has both the storage chemistry as well as the power electronics, the inverter, all integrated with one unit. So it's very simple, very easy to use, and very safe.
If you have another brand of solar, you can still retrofit with the Enphase storage system because it's compatible with any solar system that you have. Each unit is only 55 pounds or 25 kilograms, so it's relatively easy for one person to install.
You can easily lift one up and just slide it right on the mounting bracket, which means that you have many different options in terms of how you want to do your installation.
If you look at storage systems that are out or about to come out today, they're very complex systems. They're high voltage, they have a separate set of power electronics, a separate set of batteries. It's sort of one large monolithic problem. What we have shown is that one person can install a 5 kilowatt hour storage system, not the battery, but the entire storage system, in a little over an hour and a half. That is crazy. That is simply game changing.
We'll go to the next one. So it's just a time lapse showing that one guy can install 4 of these in a quick time. And since they're AC coupled, you can add as many as you want, depending on what size you need. And there's a lot of professionals here that will help you decide how much energy you need. But when I use microinverters, they go straight into the panel. There's not a connection between one main inverter. It's just a simple system. It shows it can be done relatively fast. back to the PowerPoint. Okay, also, I'm a big fan of Reliant. If you're in a co-op, you're screwed, you don't get a deregulated market, you're stuck with who they are. But if you're in an Encore area, you can shop energy providers, REPs. And I'm kind of anal about this because I want to find the cheapest rate. A lot of you do too. So I try to search it every 6 months. And I like Reliant because I think they pay the most, and they also charge the least, and they're very solar friendly. So at least in my research, I think this is their new plan that they give you a really good deal, and it's 100% renewable. It's all North Texas or West Texas wind. And they only charge you 4.7 cents for the first 1,000 kilowatts. And then if you're a heavy user like me, you go over 1,000, they charge you less than a penny per kilowatt. So if you use over 1,000, you can use as much energy as you want. We're going to charge you less than a penny for it. I think it's awesome. And to show you, this is one of my most recent bills. This is from last month, 6/21. And my plan, they only charged 3.7 cents. They went up slightly, but my first 1,000 kilowatts was $37. And then I pulled another 1,500 kilowatts at night when I don't have solar. They only charged me $2.88 for that 1,500 kilowatts. So my total energy charge was $39. But they also pay you a lot if you have solar. They will pay you 7.2 cents for what you send back to your grid or send to your neighbors. So they charged me $39 on the energy, but then they end up paying me $150 what I gave to my neighbors. So I got a credit. That's another reason I really like Reliant. Some Green Mountain and TXU will not refund you. They'll just let the credit sit on your bill. I like Reliant because they'll send you a refund check. So this was my refund check for my house, which I got 167 bucks back and forth. Yeah.
How's that make sense to me now? My line.
I don't work for them. I'll tell you.
So Jay Squyres is the only person who does this.
I guess so. Maybe. So they gave me 167 bucks back on my house, and then my warehouse is a great deal because we got new AC and we switched to all LED lights, which you can ask Bill how much money you can save when you get rid of metal halides and switch to LED. It's a big savings. So before I was happy to be at zero, but my refund check on my warehouse was almost $1,000. So not only was I net zero, provide free EV charging to whoever wants to come to my warehouse, and then they still give me a refund check. So that's why I really like Reliant. And right now they got a bonus. If you sign up with them on this plan, which is 100% renewable, and you can see that they went up a little bit. It's 4.7 cents, which is going to cost you $47, and it's I think 0.7 cents on everything over 1,000. But they'll pay you $100 if you switch to them. You just got to use my referral code. So go to Reliant, make $100. Save some money. So that's it.